This is the infamous 1999 Hot Wheels PC. And over the years, YouTubers have done just about every possible thing to this monstrosity, from loving restoration to Frankenstein's sleeper PC. But there's one thing that no one's ever done. Install Justin Bieber Linux. That's right, today we're installing BIEBIAN, so stay tuned. And if you enjoy installing meme Linux distros on meme computers, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. Well, I never thought I'd see the day, but I have somehow come across the ultimate goober PC from the late 90s. Almost entirely complete, with software, and only missing the beep beep from the steering wheel. It just showed up on Facebook Marketplace one day, all stuffed into a single tote bin. Built by the shortly thereafter bankrupt Patriot Computers, this thing came with a 333 MHz Celeron, a 3 GB hard drive, and onboard video. And there are no expansion slots, meaning that despite the rather satisfying driving wheel and pedal setup, good luck gaming on this thing. Fun fact, Patriot also sold a Barbie-themed variant of this very setup. Now, you may be asking yourself, Justin Bieber Linux? Why on earth Justin Bieber Linux? Anyway, this thing was sold as not working, so we're gonna have to fix it first. Now, the guy I bought this from said it's not working and he thinks it's the power supply, and I hope it's just the power supply because if so, I'm pretty sure I can just use one of these to replace it. I believe this is a 150 watt power supply. This is a 240 watt Pico ATX power supply. Oh, just falls apart, okay. And yeah, in here is an N-Lite 150 watt power supply, which is a kind of a small size. Here it is next to a modern ATX power supply. Yeah, no way we're getting that to fit in there. And as you can see, no expansion whatsoever on this board. We have our one VGA built in, and that's the only way we're going to get video out of this thing. So we're just going to take this Pico ATX power supply, plug it into the ATX on the motherboard here. Now we should be able to power this with a regular old power brick. Hot power to the board. Oh, it's alive! Yes! Alright, after a quick run to Micro Center, I have picked up some new fans. And there was no thermal compound on this CPU. It probably doesn't need it, but the die was actually filthy. So I'm going to put some on there. And of course, I got a nice blue RGB fan to stick in the back of this thing, because what else would we use in here? Well, she's not quiet, but she sure is Hot Wheels. Oh, and check this out. I dug through my big, horrifying box of unsorted RAM, and I found a 128 meg upgrade that works in here. For hard drive, we'll go with the tried and true CF card on 2 different adapters. And since we only have one 4-pin Molex coming off of this tiny power supply, we'll have to get a little creative with the wiring. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, everything internally is reconnected. CF card is dangling uncomfortably. Let's give this a quick power on and test the drives before we put it back in its Guy Fieri-esque prison. Right after this quick word about today's sponsor, PCBWay. Not only does PCBWay offer high-quality PCB prototyping and production, but they also offer things like assembly, 3D printing, injection molding, and tons of fabrication services. There's options for turnkey service where PCBWay will supply the parts, and there's even a great online Gerber view and 3D object viewer, so you can make sure you're ordering exactly what you expect. By the way, did you know that it's PCBWay's 10th anniversary? That's 10 solid years of PCBs. Check out the PCBWay 10th anniversary tour on the website. It's really quite cool. Plus, there's special coupons, giveaways, and other promotions. Seriously, the retro computing hobby would be so much harder without PCBWay. So many projects have come to life over those 10 years. So, as always, if you have any PCB or prototyping needs, this is the perfect time to give PCBWay.com a try. Let's see if it'll boot a more normal Linux first. Alright, Red Hat 5.2 boot floppy. God, I hope this floppy drive works. Oh, sweet, yeah, floppy drive does work. I wonder if this thing can boot off of CD-ROM. Oh yeah, it does. Check it out. Arch Linux 32-bit is booting on this thing. Oh man, this is, I don't know if this is funnier than Bieber Linux. Probably not, but almost. All right, just because I know that you all will want to do this the right way, I went down to my local Circuit City and bought an official retail copy of Justin Bieber Linux. We will actually mount the CF card, not all willy-nilly. All right, I've got the Goober reassembled. Let's boot up some Justin Bieber Linux. Oh my God, this is perfect. And you'll see notes in the loading screen about puppy files. This is based on an older version of Puppy Linux. Oh boy. All right, we got the puppy woof coming out of these speakers when it started up. Look, these speakers have a bass button. Perfect for Justin Bieber Linux. The mouse doesn't go across the whole screen. It stops here. Up and down is fine, but side to side it only goes like 75% of the way. The default host name is JBL for Justin Bieber Linux. Resolution. Well, let's see if I can make this 800 by 600. All right, Bieber Linux at 800 by 600, working just fine. There is no network interface in this machine at all, and no slot to add a card. I guess we could do a USB adapter. Oh my God, we are online with Justin Bieber Linux. Let's see. We have a web browser. What even web browser is this? The menu has a broken image on it. This is Midori 0.2.2 from 2009. All right, let's see. Puppy Linux, install NeoFetch. And Midori crash. Well, we have a bunch of Bieber wallpapers in here. Look at this one. Okay, that one creeps me out a little bit. Let's see. Is this the original? Which one is this? All right, equally creepy. Let's see if the puppy installer is on here. So we'll go into a terminal. Let's see, puppy. Yeah, puppy installer. Let's install the Bieber to the hard drive. First, we're going to have to format this to, well, ext4. All right. Apply. Now we'll run puppy installer. And we'll choose internal IDE SATA flash drive, which is, well, CF cards, exactly what we're doing. Good on you, puppy. All right, installing. All right, let's boot Bieber Linux from the hard drive. Give me CD. Oh yeah, booting Bieber from the hard drive. All right, I added the Ubuntu Lucid repositories to Puppy Package Manager, and I am going to try to install SuperTuxKart. Can you believe that none of these repositories seem to work? Man, I want to use the goofball wheel with TuxCart. Alright, well, I've been trying to install games for quite a while now. None of the mirrors of any of these repositories work for any dependencies, and I don't really know how to fix it here on Justin Bieber Linux, so I don't think this is going to work too well for gaming. Not like this computer could do any gaming to begin with. Alright, well, that's Justin Bieber Linux on the Hot Wheels PC. And, well, it mostly worked, although I really wanted to play some old Linux games with the goofball steering wheel here. Anyway, I hope that answers your question as to why on earth Justin Bieber Linux, because it sure hasn't answered mine. And honestly, I don't know what to do with this wacky setup now. I mean, it's taking up a huge amount of space in my basement. Maybe I should try to install actual Arch Linux on this thing, or maybe I should restore it back to its Windows 98 glory. Why don't you let me know what you think down in the comments below. In any event, if you enjoyed today's video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more weird crap like this, please subscribe down below, and thank you very much for watching. And a special thanks to Alex Hoffman, Andrew Nicholson, April White, Chris Biggs, Chris Calderon, Chris Nelson, Control-Alt-Reese, Drew Hamlin, Frodo Jedi, Gaspar Heller, George Rosansky, Graham, Greg from Hrutking Mods, James Fryman, James Laurie, Jason Papaz, Jason Ezel, Camille Rakowski, Lyle Truid, Matthew Crowell, Nick Daniels, Paul Spencer, Ryan, Scott Cedarbaum, Scott Thompson, Tom Woodfin, Unknown Soldier 41, Veronica Explains, and Xantronics Industrial, who are my highest tiered patrons and all of my Patreon supporters for helping to make these videos possible.